Hello, my name's Tim. Welcome to Tim Burbage Reads, and today I'm doing a book review for poster art of the Disney parks. This is a big hardback coffee table book, and it's by Danny Handke and Vanessa Hunt, with an introduction by Tony Baxter. So Tony Baxter is a Disney Imagineering superstar. And has done loads and loads of incredible things in the Disney parks. If you watch Behind the Attraction, he turns up a lot in it. But yeah, this is a book all about the poster art. So, this is such a big book. Let me open it up. Now, what this book contains, look at how big it is. You could still see it. Is every chapter is a particular land, be it Fantasyland, Adventureland, Tomorrowland, and then towards the end you kind of get different parks like Tokyo Disney Sea and California Adventure. This book was published in 2012, I think, so that Shanghai Disney is not in here, and you don't have any of the kind of the refresh of California Adventure. This is kind of the original California Adventure, which supposedly wasn't very good. But it starts with, an introduction from Tony Baxter, and you get a couple of pages of like proper information. And let me do this. It's going to be a lot of lifting and shifting in this book. So these are the different posters, and you'll see here, that's where they are in Disneyland. They are just by the entrance as you walk kind of underneath the railway bridge. You see these kind of posters, and you see where they're put in other parks and things like that. But one thing is you do get a bit on how the technology of the poster making has changed, which isn't super interesting, if I'm honest, not for me. But, so you see screen printing. Let me use this again. So how they do a different pass on each colour. And you see the monorail poster, that's for Walt Disney World, because you see it's going in and out of the contemporary resort. You see how each ride or attraction may have slightly different tweaks depending on the park that it is in. So here is the train ride, and you see different parks have got very slightly different posters where they fit the kind of the name in differently, and they figured that out quite soon after making Walt Disney World, was that you have like a panel for the name of the park. But for me, the best thing about this book is the posters themselves, and something that came out of this, something that I didn't know about, a Disney name that I hadn't heard of, was someone called Bjorn Aronson. And what they did was they did basically all of the initial posters for when Disneyland opened in the 1950s, in 1955. And every single poster that's by Bjorn Aronson in this book is brilliant. It's so pretty and eye-catching and just the most interesting things. So here is the Santa Fe Railroad, which is the train that goes around the park from 1955. Look at that poster. Such an interesting style to it. And you see, sorry, I'm going to do a lot of flicking here. You see with every single poster that I really liked, they were just kind of copying that style. Every single one that was really interesting. Like, go hit. That's just for a restaurant. But look at that. That just has that kind of 1950s Disneyland style to it, which is just so eye-catching. Some of the posters in the 60s and 70s kind of copy that style. One thing that I found really interesting was there are some, you see some like concept drawings on how they're going to make. So that's the Jungle Cruise poster, like what they thought they were going to do, and then what they actually did in like different parks. So you see this one here is Hong Kong, and that's kind of a very different style. You see how the styles change over the years. I just knocked my camera over with the book, so that's great. Some of the styles have changed over the years. There's this is a really pretty one from the 1960s, which I think kind of copies quite a lot of the Bjorn Aronson style, but that's the Swiss Family Tree house. Look at all those colours, just absolutely gorgeous. Ooh. But yeah, that's where this book shines, really, is. Sorry, I just have to show this. It's the Enchanted Tiki Room. What t-shirt am I wearing? I'm wearing an Enchanted Tiki Room t-shirt. So I had to film this review. I just had to. But this shows how style progresses over time. Some of the early 2000s ones, I think, are so of their time that it's kind of quite cringy. But one thing that I loved is some of these posters are just iconic. You know, the Haunted Mansion poster is just, that's it. You know, that's the Haunted Mansion. And that was designed with Mark Davis, who was the main Imagineer on it. Mark Davis brought his kind of classic humour, both to the ride and to the posters. But I'm looking for Tomorrowland because, oh, sorry, I just have to stop, because this is one of my favourite posters, and is the poster of the Sleeping Beauty castle in Disneyland Paris, which is the most beautiful castle. It just is. And that's a beautiful poster, which has that, like, that style is very different to the Bjorn Aronson style, but that is, oh, it's so beautiful, by Tracy Trinast and Tom Morris. You have pictures of the shows and the different parks. I'm just trying to find, like, okay, so there's like a little attraction called an art corner, and Bjorn Aronson did a poster for it. There it is. Look at that. Look at how good that poster is. It's just incredible. Every single one of Bjorn Aronson's poster in this are just incredible. They're so good. And the ones I really like copy it. Apart from, I'm going to say, when Disneyland Paris, or Euro Disney, first opened, for Tomorrowland, which is called Discoveryland, they really went with the Jules Verne flavour, and it's still throughout the whole land, and I really like that. I really like that tailoring of the concept to fit the local area. And the posters really match that style. So I'm going to show you two posters here for basically the same ride. One is the Astrojet, which was in Disneyland by Bjorn Aronson, that poster. And then the next one is for the Orbitron, which was in Disneyland Paris in 1991. And you'll see the differences in them. I'm not a designer by any stretch, but this is the main one by Bjorn Aronson. That's the rocket jets from 1955. Look at that, just so visually striking. And then here, oh my goodness. That there is the Orbitron one, where you see it's just so busy and kind of steampunky, clockworky, Victorian era science experiment gone wrong, full of brass and dreams. Just really, really different style, and I really liked it. You also had the very bad 2005 poster there as well. Where's the... Here's the Space Mountain page. So you see, they actually mention how Space Mountain, the posters change as you see how design changes, both in just design generally and what's fashionable, but also about how Disney approached the rides. So yeah, this is all... So Space Mountain obviously wasn't around when Bjorn Aronson did the posters, otherwise that would have been incredible, but it opened it. So we'll do a run through here. So this is it opening in 1977. That's in Disneyland. That was then used for Tokyo, I think. And then you see in like, let's do a bit of this. The 2000s, look at that. That's a bit, I'm going to focus on this one. Focus on this one here. This one here, absolutely dreadful design. Look at this, that's like the most 2000s. That looks like an episode of Reboot, or like 90s, early 2000s CG. You have the great Jules Verne style. You see it fits with Discoveryland just perfectly, which then got turned into this. It's the second time I knocked my camera over. It's got turned into this absolute 2000s CG monstrosity. Look at that, what a dreadful poster that is. You imagine going from that to that, ugh. And then that's where we're currently at with Walt Disney World. That's their Space Mountain poster with the new logo, just fitting in that Tomorrowland style, which is the future that never was, which I really like that. Yeah, so do I like this book? Yeah, I really do. I really do. Oh, I'm just showing you all the posters now, but that's what this book is about. It's a coffee table book for you to look at and go, wow, the posters are really cool. This is for in Tokyo Disney Sea, which is one of I went there last year and it was such a cool park. They've got like a Jules Verne, Mysterious Island, a whole area, and you have 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea and Journey to the Center of the Earth. And just look at these posters. Just look at them. They're so cool. They just fit that aesthetic, and like they're informative, they're inspirational. You kind of get the vibes on what's going to happen. They're just super, super cool. And then, yeah, so, yeah. What do you rate this book, really? It's a coffee table book. It is actually genuinely informative, and it's very focused on the poster art itself. It talks a lot about the processes, which is what you want in a non-fiction book, but it also doesn't get in its own way and gives you lots and lots of posters. So for me, this is a 5-star book for me. I actually bought this for my wife, and she hasn't read it yet, so I read it. And yeah, let me know what your favourite Disney attraction is in the comments below. And please give this video a like, comment below, and please subscribe. It really does make a difference to me, especially when I'm here in the middle of the night because my kids are asleep. I'm kind of whispering and I keep knocking my camera over with the book. Anyway, I'll see you in the next one now. Get out of my house!